you doing? I'm Sean Norman, and today I'd like to talk about the Dow Chemical Company. And more specifically, I want to talk about the corporate social responsibility of a company like Dow. In order to get there, I think we've got to talk a little bit about their history. I'll talk about their past, and then what they're currently producing, and what they plan to do with the environment in the future. All right, a little bit about their past. They were founded by this man, Herbert Henry Dow, and he was really a true entrepreneur. He figured out a way to extract bromide from the soil in Midland, and in the very beginning, once he started producing this stuff, there was foreign conglomerates that said, you know, you can produce it over there, that's fine, just don't export any of this bromide. Well, he couldn't help himself, so he started exporting his bromide. Well, what happened then was there was a German company that decided that they were going to undercut his business by flooding the US market with very cheap bromide. So what Dow did was he bought all of that bromide, repackaged it, relabeled it under the Dow name, and sent it back off to Europe and made a profit on it. So he's a very, very smart fellow. All right, some of the historical products that they made that really were not very corporate social responsibility, they were not very responsible products. So he made Agent Orange, they made napalm, they made triggers for nuclear bombs, like all that stuff that you can kind of see up there. But what they also did was they weren't real safe about their chemicals. Like in their chemical creation process, some of the byproducts were dioxins. Dioxins were known to be very toxic, even lethal to humans. So at this point in time, I would not work for a company like this. But times change. In 2009, they went through and tried to acquire this company, Rohm and Haas. And before they acquired this company, it was during the Great Economic Recession, they changed the way they did their financing from debt financing to equity financing. They switched that around a little bit. They drove their stock price way down, and they tried to renegotiate a price for Rohm and Haas. But since they already agreed on a price, they still had to pay the $18 billion. And we're going to see what economic effect that had on these guys. So here was that recession, and they had to buy Rohm and Haas right down there. Okay? But as we can tell, Dow's not going anywhere. Their stock's been on the rise ever since. Okay? Right now, they're near their record high, right around $70 per share. In 2016, they bought back Dow Corning. Dow Corning was a joint venture between Dow Chemical Company and Corning. This expanded their portfolio again to cover some of the stuff like silicone. More than likely, the glass on your phone is a Dow product as well. The Dow-DuPont merger that's happening right now is going to make them the largest chemical company in the world, briefly. Dow is the #2 chemical company in the world for sales. DuPont's #8. So they're not allowed to stay as one company. The EU will not allow it because they have such a monopoly on so many different markets. So what the EU right now is doing is they're forcing DuPont to split off some of the research and development in order so that they can still have some competition. When they do split, Dow refers to these as spins. They're going to have 3 different companies. DuPont's going to stick with agriculture. That's their bread and butter. Dow is going to stay with plastics, which is their most profitable business. And then they're going to have one joint venture with basically the remainder of the companies. So all your electric and specialty products. So again, this just shows exactly what Dow is going to keep. They're going to keep their 2 largest portions, and then they're going to pick up the second largest portion of DuPont. We had a large shift from those wartime products that Dow made to Dow being one of the leaders in reducing the carbon footprint for their corporation. Okay. So they actually believe in global warming, and they want to reduce that. So in their original 2025 sustainability goal, they said that they wanted to use 400 megawatts of renewable energy. Well, since that goal was written, they have updated it, and they actually want to use 500 megawatts of renewable energy. Now that 500 megawatts is enough to power 175,000 homes every year. Okay, so that's something pretty cool that they're doing. Another big thing that I picked out was by 2020, they're going to work with the Nature Conservancy for every new property that they acquire, they want to make sure that they're not interrupting or disrupting any ecosystem. So the other part of corporate social responsibility is the community. In the community that I've lived in for a long time, I've known that Dow has been very proactive in the community with Habitat for Humanity and the United Way. Now, I actually got to go into Dow on March 24th to have Dow Day. And I got to go ask questions about some of these organizations, the United Ways, the Habitat for Humanities. And I got to speak with people from as high as the Vice President of Financing, John Newman, down to some new hires, just started last year. Okay. So what I got to learn was that for every employee that Dow has, they will offer a full day's salary to go work at one of these organizations. They'll count it as a work day and pay them for the whole day. Now, that's pretty amazing for a large corporation like that. So they have roughly 50,000 employees, and on their 2025 sustainability goal, they want to have 400,000 community service hours every year from their employees. That's what they're funding. So looking at that, I think that Dow would be a great place to work in the future.